right, party people in the place to be. We are now officially on the way to the road to WrestleMania. I'm excited to do this type of show because we don't always do this on this platform, but going forward, you will hear us talk about it at the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and then the Survivor Series. So we'll talk about all of the big four. So I'm Hollywood Ray with my guy Hollywood Cass. Like, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I was kind of interested on the Cody Rhodes CM Punk promo. I was like, okay, this is a little intense. This is almost like a Steve Austin, The Rock type thing at the end. But I mean,
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited for it.
We'll get into that shortly. Because that's to me, there definitely was some there was some truth rooted in what was going on there because they were at the other promotion as well, AEW, before they both came back to WWE. So there's a lot of there is a lot of low key strife between them. Like I said, we'll get into that shortly. But unfortunately, we got to start with something serious though. This is not scripted. This is very much real. What happened? Vince McMahon, who's been the long time owner, for those that don't know, Vince had got the company from his father in the early '80s for $1 million. Obviously, they sold it a few years ago, or so he sold his majority stake, for almost I think 900 million or something like something crazy like that a few months back with the Endeavor deal, and they're now merging with TKO to have a thing with UFC and WWE merging together. So we might see some more pay-per-views, or they call PLEs now, in the future. But yeah, he's got slapped with another sexual assault case. So just when you saw that, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, I saw sex trafficking, which is insane.
Yeah.
Apparently, here I have it. My former employee Janelle Grant is obviously 2022 non-disclosure agreement claiming McMahon paid only $1 million of the agreed $3 million settlement, and apparently as well it was because of personalized sexual content for shocker Brock Lesnar. Apparently, as he wanted to resign for the WWE, so he was doing stuff like that. So I mean, it's a little insane that Vince McMahon was doing that. I mean, you have this big brand of the WWF and then WWE, and you're doing stupid shit like this. I mean, I don't understand, but it kind of makes sense of why he was trying to sell off WWE as much as he could, because he's probably trying to get away from all these scandals. But
no, facts. And I think that's I feel like there's always money tied to it. And I hope that people don't get dumb and say, oh, like, she's only putting this out there because he gave her one of the $3 million. It's like, no, she wanted to get her accuser, and that's what she did. So, get over it. But yeah, I mean, you would think once the allegations came out in 2022 about him when he finally stepped down, that you would have thought that he would try to get away from as much as he could. But you can't control when people choose to come out. So I'm glad he's getting exposed in this regard, because once again, if that is all true, you shouldn't get away with any of that. And it makes sense. That, what would you say? You said that Brock Lesnar was involved too. You said,
yeah, it was for because of what the sexual trafficking was to bring back Brock Lesnar at that time.
Oh well, yeah. So the thing was, so this is like July. Yeah, actually, matter of fact, I was at the show because it was a SmackDown show. It was a Friday night that Vince McMahon said, I'm done. And because it was right before SummerSlam, and Brock Lesnar had walked out that Monday on Monday Night Raw. He was like, I'm not coming back. And people thought it was, it's an angle. But no, like, it was a real thing. Like, he was like, I'm not coming back. Fuck this. Like, I'm not resigning. So then once Vince stepped down, you heard his music pop up at the end of the show. Basically letting everyone know, okay, well, if he's really gone for real, then I'm gonna come back and resign. So that's what happened there. Once again, thank God, because we got a few more good matches out of Brock Lesnar. So that's that. But yeah, it just furthermore shows that Vince has to go. Maybe that's why Stephanie left too, because Stephanie left last year as well. And I think that she just no longer wanted to be a part or associate herself with whatever was going on. Because clearly they know what's coming down the pike, right? It's not like they we get stuff out as they want us to find out. They have all the information behind the scenes. They know what's going on in was it Stamford, Connecticut? Their office is up there, so they know what's going on. And like I said, unfortunately, it got to that point. But either way, thank God, Triple H is now the person that's taking over. I hope that lady, I forget the lady's name you just mentioned, but I hope that she finds justice, and that she's able to heal her trauma, and anybody else that was a part of that trafficking ordeal. Because I didn't say John Laurinaitis was on there too, which that's wild, and it's so ironic that CM Punk is now back in the WWE because I think he real life hated John Laurinaitis. So the fact that, and he used to talk shit about him every week on the on Monday Night Raw. So I wonder if they'll have him cut a promo on that. I don't think they should, because I think it's a little dicey. But for others' entertainment and just to trash Laurinaitis one more time, I would love for that to happen. So, but I'll leave it at that, because he wasn't one of my favorite WWE officials. So let's leave it at that, because like I said, that I gave more to that than I wanted to. So let's just get into the actual Royal Rumble itself. The Royal Rumble is taking place this Saturday as we record this on a Thursday night. So Saturday in Tampa, I was trying to swing it to go, but I was like, nah, that's a little too much going on. So I'm happy about it. But we'll start with the men's Royal Rumble. So some of the participants that have been confirmed to be in it, because obviously they haven't told us every entrant. So if I can pull it up,
it's Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Chad Gable, Otis, Kofi Kingston, Damian Priest, Kira Tozawa, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah. So that's already, that's already a stacked men's Royal Rumble. I hope that they open with the men's Royal Rumble. I doubt they will, because I feel like they opened with the women's last year, so they may switch it around. But I feel like this should open the show. You want to grab attention, but then again, because Cody's in the match, because this is CM Punk's return, you want to make sure that, I guess, if one of those guys are winning it, you want the fans to leave home happy. We talked a little bit off the air about The Rock coming back as a board member. So do you think The Rock makes his return at the Royal Rumble? So what do you think? What do you think happens there?
You know damn well The Rock's going to try to get into the Royal Rumble somehow, some way, and then try to either challenge Roman Reigns for WrestleMania or do something like that. I don't think he'll be able to do it, because what was his last promo? He was like almost out of breath as he was trying to speak and fight. So listen, like I said in the beginning of the show, it looks like that they're trying to do it looks like a great script between the CM Punk Cody Rhodes thing. So with that promo, it literally looked like the intensity at the end was like a Steve Austin The Rock. So I think they should stick with that. The Rock's just outdated. He's as old as us in the wrestling sense. So he could try, but I don't think he's gonna go for a title belt or anything like that.
I do think they're gonna go the route of Cody CM Punk. I just don't. I think it'll be after WrestleMania though. So
yeah, exactly.
Seth Rollins apparently is real life hurt. Like I thought that was a shoot at first. That's a real thing. Like he really is hurt. Like he came on the air Monday night and had his knee wrapped. So that's a real thing. So I'm hoping that he's fine by the time WrestleMania 40 comes around in early April. So but they have to do the surgery like today. Like today, they got to do the surgery so he's able to be ready to go. Because that's about, give or take, 8 or 9 weeks before the event. So and he'll have time to be down in Florida and work at the PC down there, because that's where they all train down in Orlando. If they're not on TV. So yeah, but you're right. That I didn't see it live, the CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. I saw it on Twitter, and I said, whoa. I was like, okay, CM Punk talking about how he was more of Dusty Rhodes than Cody. That was like, whoa. I was like, coming. I was like,
talking about the pipe bomb.
The pipe bomb, bringing up Dad. I was like, sheesh. But yeah, no, that was a great verbal spar between them two, man. And I love what they've done with CM Punk since he come back. Obviously, everyone is wanting Cody to win the title at WrestleMania 40. But as far as the men's Royal Rumble goes, because I'm part of the Cody finish the story, I'm looking for Cody to go back to back because he won last year's Royal Rumble.
Yep.
That doesn't happen too often. I think the last one,
Steve Austin was the last one to do the worst back to back.
He's one of them, but it's the last one might have been. Oh no, you just said no back to back, not
yeah, back to back, yeah,
back to back, yeah. So maybe maybe that happens. I know Shawn Michaels has done it too, but and they both won the world championship after doing that. So I'm hoping that's the case because I think it's time for that to happen. If not, I'd be cool with seeing CM Punk win. I'd be cool with seeing Gunther win because I feel like he put on a hell of a match last year at WrestleMania against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, but it was considered like a mid card match, but that could have easily been the main event for night one. So, but I know we talked a little bit. You said you wouldn't be surprised if that happens to go back to back. So you're going with Cody Rhodes to win that one, or are you going with somebody else?
Yeah, I'll probably go with Cody Rhodes on that one just because it kind of helps out the narrative of what we're talking about here for finishing the story. Right. I feel like they might try to do CM Punk to kind of create that controversy, but I think all in all, I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes. Comment right here. CPNY Sports, appreciate you, CP. Says I got no idea about anything WWE related. Not gonna lie, I used to watch Undertaker. That was my guy, but haven't watched since he left. So good thing you're watching this right now because we do know wrestling. So anybody out there listening to this later on in the audio, the video,
Taker. That's it's cool to hear you say Taker, Chris, because I feel like he's a guy that gets spoken about, but he doesn't get spoken about like Rock or Triple H or Stone Cold. So I love for anybody that gets praise or love to the Undertaker. I'm here for. He officially retired in 2020 at Survivor Series, but yeah, I mean he was in the business for a long time, and he gave us some of the best matches ever. Some at the Royal Rumble, some at WrestleMania. So
the Shawn Michaels one was a good one. WrestleMania, yes. I think that was in like 08 or 07.
Yeah, 25. So WrestleMania 09. I mean, no, 09. WrestleMania 25. That was in 09. But yes, yep.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. So yes, their singles match at 25. But if you're saying they gave us great memories, at the Royal Rumble, that's true. And I think in 07, Taker won the Rumble in 07, and yes. him and Shawn Michaels were the final. Too. So they told a really great story between those two guys in those 3 or 4 year span. And Taker was the one that retired Shawn Michaels at the time. And so they went to go fight in Saudi Arabia. So
and the biggest storyline for me as a kid, I always thought Undertaker and Kane were actual brothers. So when I found out they were, I was like,
yeah. When I finally heard about Kane's different characters, like before he was like this guy named like Isaac Yankem, DDS. He played the fake Diesel when Kevin Nash left to go to WCW. So I was like, wow. I didn't know that. So I was older, but it was. I was actually talking to Rose Gold about this earlier. The scariest thing ever, or one of the scariest thing ever, was when when Kane was unmasked.
Oh my God! Yes.
And like half of his hair was like it was like pushed back to hair, and I was like, he just ended up the black paint was on the face. It looked crazy. Like that was super shook. What a wild time to be. Excuse me, to be alive. So cool. So you got Cody, I got Cody as well. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if CM Punk or Gunther ends up winning that match. So we'll get to the Women's Royal Rumble in a little bit, but I want to go to the. There's only a few singles matches that's going on. I think we have a title match for the U.S. title. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. So, I know you know who Logan Paul is. Someone who's been a real YouTuber guy. He has a really good podcast called Impulsive. Do you think that he has a long career in WWE, or is this just something just to get eyeballs on the product for a short time?
I kind of see him as like a Conor McGregor. type of what when Conor McGregor came into the UFC, dominated, did what he needed to do, became kind of like that face for a few years, and then once all these like actual fighters started coming in, they were just beating the piss out of him.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to happen with Logan Paul. I think he's going to keep the belt though, because I don't think he's had another a title match with it since he got it in the SummerSlam. So I think he's going to keep it for a few more pay-per-views and stuff like that. But I think ultimately, once like his script kind of runs out, they're just going to get rid of him.
Yeah, I like Kevin Owens a lot. I feel like you would like Kevin Owens too. Like I know you don't watch all the time, but Kevin Owens, I feel like is a guy that you would resonate with. Talks mad shit to every other wrestler. Super hardcore. And I love the character they have for him in WWE. Really his whole career, not just WWE. Even when he was in TNA, New Japan, stuff like that. Like, he's always been a really good a wrestler. But they actually had like a little scuffle on Twitter today, which I love. I love the build up for it. It was so hilarious. Logan Paul's in the ring and he's just talking shit to Kevin Owens. Is like, oh yeah, tough guy. Comes in, Logan Paul throws the Prime bottle at him. Oh no, this is so good. This is so good.
I'm surprised he didn't tell him he didn't know how to read.
Yeah. I said they're building this up pretty good. So Logan Paul has impressed me because I was like, at first I was like, hey, I don't know about this. Like, could they put him like in a tag team with the Miz a few years ago at WrestleMania? And I was like, I don't know. This may not be good, but when I got a chance to see him at SummerSlam, I guess he won his match against Ricochet. I was like, oh, like, okay, like he's gotten a lot better in these last 2 years. Like, they may have some real plans for him, and clearly they do, because for him to win the title against Rey Mysterio, and then now is going to defend it at the Royal Rumble against KO. Like, I think that they see him as a guy that could be a star. Speaking of Taker stamped him too, that's big because Taker's respected by everybody in that locker room. Actually, really across wrestling, it doesn't matter what promotion you're in. Like everyone respects the Undertaker's, whatever he says. So, yeah, but no, I'm with you. I think that Logan Paul retains as well, and I think that it sets up for something with him at WrestleMania. I don't know if it's going to be against Kevin Owens again, but I do think that he goes over and there. So I'm excited. Well, I have to see the replay of it because I'll be working the Clippers game against the Celtics on Saturday night. So don't text me on Saturday. Don't text me any spoilers. I'll watch it at 12 o'clock when I get home. I'll stay up. I'll watch it because we'll be doing a recap later on this weekend. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So what's going on? What's going on, sports for you? How you doing, man?
Great podcast they have. Usually 3 guys and some guests, but they're always on, I believe, Fridays, Wednesdays, I think Mondays too. But great guys over there. Sports for you.
Gotcha. Okay. So then next, we talked a little bit about this off the air too, but a fatal 4-way. Shout out to Nick Aldis, who's been playing the SmackDown GM. He, as they've been saying on Twitter, let him cook. He has been cooking. I love they went this route. So it's a fatal 4-way. So it's Randy Orton. Who am I missing? Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, and then LA Knight. Yeah. Thoughts on that match?
Well, I mean, I'm more of like the older school. I think Randy Orton's going to come back and get this title match, but I mean, I kind of showed in the SummerSlam, like Roman Reigns. I feel like they didn't want to give it to him, but maybe just because of how the story went with him and Jey Uso. But do you think that LA Knight might be able to get this?
So I would love that. I don't see it happening. Not like I think he wins a title this year, but it won't be a Royal Rumble. I think he may win something at WrestleMania, or he may win something at SummerSlam, but I don't see him getting it at this time. But your point to Randy Orton, right? Because he was on an interview recently and he said, I feel great coming back from surgery. He said, I feel like I have a couple more title defenses in me. And, we come from the era where it was him and Cena all the time,
For real.
going back at it. So if he was to win it on Saturday night, would you want it? Because so the thing is, they're back and forth for getting the 16th title, that's held by Ric Flair has the most of all time, that they put out there. So, would you want to see Cena versus Orton for who wins the 16th title, or would you want him to fight me Orton? Would you want him to fight other guys in order to get to that 16th title?
I mean, the way they're going, when they're bringing The Rock a lot, I think Steve Austin was on here for a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't see why they wouldn't. I mean, Triple H knows what he's doing, so if he thinks that it could be marketable like that, then he'll probably do it.
Yeah.
It definitely will bring some nostalgia though to us millennials. I mean, that for what was it? At one point, John Cena had the title for like almost a year before Randy Orton took it over from him, and just that rivalry in general with the storyline. I think that they might if Randy Orton wins this, but it all just depends on their marketing team and their writers to see if like it would go.
Yeah. And what you said, nostalgia wise, yes, I would love for them to go that route. But once again, both of them have to still go. I feel like it may have to be a triple threat because I don't know if they like Randy Orton is one of the smoothest guys I've ever seen in the ring. Like he is, like the dude. Like, when he's right, he can move with anybody. But obviously, he's getting older. Cena's obviously getting older. I feel like they may need a third guy in there that could take some of the bumps for them, so it wouldn't be as brutal. Because even with Cena last year, right? He faced Theory at WrestleMania 39, night one, and he like some of the moves you remember, like okay, like he still can do some things, but it just wasn't because he's doing the movies, damn near full time. He's not able to practice in the ring the way that he once was. So, I would like to see that, but I feel like it would have to be a triple threat. I don't know who would be the third person in there. Maybe Batista comes back and becomes a special guest referee.
Jesus.
That would be crazy. Or maybe Triple H comes back and be the special guest referee. But I know he had that heart surgery thing, so I don't think he could be in the ring unless it's for like a talking segment. So, but yeah, I mean that definitely intrigues me. Once again, I mean, I still think Roman Reigns retains. I feel like they're obsessed with him getting Hulk Hogan's record, which I'm like, I don't understand, but that's what it seems like. And I just feel like, yeah, he's carried the company. He's been the guy. He's been the face of the company. So that's what's up. But I'd rather. If that means we're getting Roman Rock, then fine. I'm fine with him losing the title at Royal Rumble to Randy Orton or whoever it is. Because we didn't even talk about AJ Styles. I mean, AJ Styles came back looking yoked a couple months back when he came back from injury. So I don't know if they put it back on him, but any of those guys that win, I'll be okay with. But something tells me that Roman retains. But I wouldn't be surprised if for the 15th time, I hear voices in my head. They talk, that's where I'm at. So Randy, if you're there, man, hopefully you're moving good on Saturday. Because y'all should steal the house. So
would you want Edge to be in that 3-way with him, Orton, and Cena?
Well, Edge would have to come back to WWE because right now he's in he's now using his real name Adam Copeland over you. But maybe Tony Khan lets that happen. Maybe he says, hey, for the come through they call it the forbidden door. For one night only, do X, Y, and Z. That would be awesome. I mean, Edge did have a couple matches with Orton when he came back in 2020.
That's why I said it. Yeah.
Yeah. Those matches were amazing, especially the one at Backlash at the PC's Center was phenomenal. But yeah, so I don't know if they would allow that to happen, but that would be awesome. But like I said, Batista's a guy that you could have there. There's some other guys I could think of that they would allow. Who knows? Maybe even CM Punk could be in there because him and John Cena had a great rivalry too, for a while. So that would be pretty cool. It's like, no, John, my problem is I think I'm the best in the world, John. You're not the best in the world. It's like, so those were every now and then I go back and watch those YouTubes because that was insane. But any other thoughts? Yeah, any other thoughts on the Fatal Four before we get into the women's match?
Nah, should be good, but you need to get Peacock if that's the case because they have everything you need.
Oh yeah,
From
I'm
back in the
already
day.
on there. Already on there. Yeah, gotta because you can't see it. You can't see it unless it's on there. So unless you're on there now. So and then speaking of that, I forgot we 25 minutes in, didn't even mention this. So in 2025, so listen clearly, so y'all won't be like, oh, we missed it. It's on the WWE page. I think I shared it. Some other people shared it. Aaron tagged me in it and Shay the other day in it. They are moving to Netflix full time next year. They have signed a 10-year deal for $5 billion. So that's $500 million a year they're getting from Netflix to get every part of WWE programming. So that's a phenomenal deal. Pay the wrestlers more. Because once again, Aaron and others give me hard times about what happens. And I'm like, hey, the only thing that's fake is that they know who's winning. When you're wrestling 300 days out the year, and once again, Seth Rollins got hurt for real. Undertaker's been hurt for real. Triple H has been hurt for real. Anything can happen when you're wrestling that many times a year. But thankfully now, thanks to Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan, new world order, brother. We have guaranteed contracts, so they're good. But
Do you think that the scripts will be better or like more intense because it's on Netflix and they can make
probably.
it almost like
I hope
TV
so.
14?
I hope so.
That'd be dope.
We're Attitude Era kids, so we saw a lot of wild stuff, and I would love for it to go back.
You telling?
Yeah. I would love for it to go back to that. Like it's not. Well, it's funny because it wasn't real, but I don't know if you remember this. You remember Val Venus?
Yep.
Yeah. Hello, ladies. So I remember the segment where I don't know if it was Funaki. I figure who was it, but they was in in a little feud, and I think it was Mr. Fuji that came back. Mr. Fuji that came back, and they had trapped Val Venus in the locker room, one of the locker rooms, and they were going to chop off his penis on air, and I was just like. I remember thinking like, oh my God, they're gonna cut his dick off on air. And all you heard was a ah. I was like, yo, that's insane, man. Like that was so I thought for sure it was some wild shit going on. I was like, whoa, what like so, but then he was like back like 3 weeks later, just like they showed some wild way how we escaped or whatever. So I was like, wow, this is crazy. But yeah, so I mean, it's still family oriented as I put in the quotes, but I feel like because Netflix is something that you gotta obviously pay the $9.99 for, they what do you call it? They'll start producing some edgier content, which I think will get the ratings up, which eventually get more money for Netflix and WWE alike. So last but not least, before we get out of here, is the Women's Royal Rumble. So can you read off some of the names that's in there?
Yep. So as far as I know, of course it doesn't want to.
I know it should be Bailey. Bailey's in there.
Yeah, of course, when I want to check it out, it doesn't want to.
Yeah, so no, I got it. So some of the names they put out there. So Bailey, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Maxine Dupree, and Ivy Nile.
So with that, my homegirl Ash, who I've known Ashley from like middle school, she went to our DMs and asked, "You think that Sasha's turn up in the women's, and then AJ Lee potentially?" And she says, "I know Naomi is set to return for sure."
But we don't know that for sure, though. That's been the biggest. Let's talk about the Naomi thing. I won't. So Ashley, I won't believe Naomi's back until I hear Feel the Glow. So I hear that theme, I won't believe that she's back. I want her to be back. She should be back in the WWE. I think that she really started to figure it out before she left. So we'll see. And what was the other question? Was it Sasha Banks?
Banks and AJ Lee potentially.
So I don't even want to answer because I don't want to get my hopes up. Like I love Sasha Banks. Love AJ Lee as well. AJ Lee is CM Punk's wife. In real life. I think AJ's done though. I mean, it'd be cool to see her do like a surprise entrance, but I think she's done really doing any in the ring stuff. She may be there at some Comic-Con stuff, but I don't see her coming back to the ring. But it'd be dope to see her for one night. But as far as Sasha Banks goes, I would love for that to happen as a surprise entrance. Especially with her and Bayley being best of friends in real life. Like I think that would be cool to set up another match between them down the road, because those two had the best female match ever. And I'm like, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, go on Peacock, go to the NXT section, go to NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2015, 30-minute match. That's the best women's match I've ever seen. And yes, I grew up in the Trish Stratus era. Lita, Jacqueline, Chyna, who else am I missing? Tori Wilson, Stacy Keibler. There's not a match that the ladies put on that tops what Bayley and Sasha did in 2015. Like it's not close. Maybe Lita and Trish in 2004 Monday night they main evented. That was the first time a woman ever main evented Monday Night Raw. But I'm hard pressed to find. So those in the comments, and when you listen back, if you could find a match that's better, that's like you can find a women's match that's better than Bayley and Sasha in 2015. I'd be hard pressed to find, and I would love for you to argue something different. So, that being said, who do you think wins? I know you know a few women's wrestlers, but who do you think wins?
Just trying to think real quick. I'm actually not quite sure, to be honest. You might have to come back to me on this one. Who you got?
So what makes sense to me, once again, it's just because I've been waiting for this. I think Bayley should win. So go figure. I just been talking about her the last 5 minutes, but I think Bayley should win. I think that she, she's earned it. She's put over Damage Control. Once again, she didn't have to be the leader of that faction, y'all. So for those that say that, oh, Damage Control, it was something fresh and new. Bayley didn't. They needed Bayley, not the other way around. So shout out to Dakota Kai. Shout out to my dog Io Sky, the Genius of the Sky, who is still the reigning defending women's champion. But I feel like to get that match at WrestleMania 40 between Bayley and Io Sky, I think that's the way they go. Have Bayley win it, and then I feel like Io Sky should have. If Sasha came back, I would have Io Sky eliminate Sasha, and then Sasha could be the guest referee at 40, and Bayley wins the title. I think that would be awesome.
Okay, yeah. Because I was gonna say Bianca Belair as I was thinking about it, but you kind of make better points with Bayley. So yeah, but I'll still go with Bianca Belair. But I think that Bayley thing makes better sense.
No, Bianca. Well, that's because as a fan, that's what I want to see. But
yeah,
you saying Bianca Belair, like once again, Bianca Belair for the last 2 years has been the best. That's part of her gimmick. She says, "I'm the quickest, the toughest, the baddest, the strongest." That's her thing. You're right. She has carried the women's division. So she's earned it. I just feel like I feel like fans want something different right now. She'll get her time back. She'll get her time. But she's carried the women's division. I was there. When did I go? Oh, when I went to WrestleMania 38 in Dallas. The crowd loves her. Like when she came out to her song, I'm on my own. Like crowd went crazy. Little kids love her, which is why they keep giving her the title, because as long as the kids love her, like how the kids love John Cena, they want the kids to go home with a happy feeling. They're gonna keep, just being honest. They're gonna keep them in rotation. But so if Bianca wins, wouldn't be mad. And Mike, who's one of my co-hosts on Mr. The Point, don't listen to this part. Becky should not win it. I'm sorry. Becky Lynch is 2008 John Cena. You can't keep giving her a chance after chance. I'm sorry. Like it's got to be let her win maybe some towards the end of the year, whether it's like Survivor Series and the match. Fine, cool. But Becky Lynch should not be winning the Royal Rumble this year. She shouldn't be. It doesn't make sense storyline. It doesn't make sense. Now, unless you're saying we eventually get her and Sasha down the line, if she comes back, once again, in the words of Drewski, you got me. But until then, it needs to be either, like I said, what Aaron said, Bianca Belair, or my choice, Bailey. So I'm good. I'm good with either one of those.
Word.
So, but I'm like, before we get out of here, so I know, like I said, you the attitude era, guy like me. So, if any one of you remember that you watched in the past that you have a favorite Royal Rumble moment, if you remember at all, off the top of your head.
I mean, I did say earlier with the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, but
yes, that's
kind of mine in all sense, just because it was so like dramatic and just had a really good storyline right there, and it continued with Undertaker's undefeated streak.
Yes,
at one point, so I'm gonna have to go with that one. But
give me what I want. Give me what I want, Teddy Long. Give me what I want, Teddy Long. Dude was giving the sweet chimneys to everybody in, so he got his rematch. And he was
but
like,
yeah, that's the one I got.
Calm down. Oh yeah, that was a good time. Me, this wasn't a match. These are just certain moments. Kofi Kingston in the Royal Rumble is a sight to behold. I feel like his nickname should be Mr. Royal Rumble. The dude has had some incredible saves in this match where it's like they push him off the rope, but he'll like jump onto the table, find a way to get back in the ring without getting eliminated. So I love to see what Kofi Kingston has done. Another one of my favorites was when Mick Foley had all three of his characters.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Being there. So Mankind, Dude Love, and Cactus Jack was all in the same. Which, when I think about it now, I'm like, that's insane. That he came back 3 different times, was in the ring 3 different times. Like, that's wild. Just from a stamina standpoint. So yeah, those are a few that come to mind. So I'm sure there'll be some more great moments on Saturday night. So Aaron, I'll come to you with final words.
Yeah, so pretty much, help us get to 100 subs. Obviously, CPNY Sports, get these dudes to 100. Yes, please get us to 100 subs. We're at 91 currently. Appreciate everyone that has subbed to our channel. We will be doing a Royal Rumble reaction on Sunday around 1:30 p.m. So check that out. If you can't watch the live stream on it, obviously we will have on the audio and replay. But I mean, this is going to be a good Royal Rumble. I mean, listen, I'm from the old school. I really haven't been watching too much of the new stuff. So if I'm watching it, you guys should definitely watch it. Appreciate everyone that's, like, subscribe, and, make sure you do that. You like, subscribe the channel. Everything on here is at the bottom screen. Just, like, do whatever you need to do. Follow. We follow everyone back no matter what. And, as always, Black people matter.
Yeah, no doubt. So, I echo those same sentiments. You're getting a 2-for-1 special. I'm here to break the surprise to you. We're coming at you with some NFL stuff shortly, so stay tuned for that. But we wanted to get this out the way and make sure that the rest of the fans that connect were able to listen and hear our takes on that. So, make sure you follow us. Make sure you get us closer to that 100 mark. Like I said, we're 9 away, as Aaron mentioned. We have taken a nice little jump in the last few weeks. Like we were like at 75 for a while, and then bam, like I said, another 17, 18 of you have jumped on. So once again, we thank you for that. It is impossible without y'all. But like I said, this is why we keep pumping out the content so that you can keep consuming it for your pleasure. So he's Aaron Cass. I'm Hollywood Ray. Until next time, which is very soon. We'll see you. Peace.
Tie this game at 60.